Burhan, one of the... Basically, I'm the Burhan in the Burhan and the Boy. And speaking of the boy, Mr. Long Boy's post-1975, he is Mr. David Wade.
Don't call me David. Only my mum's allowed to call me that, and when she does, I get pissed off.
Can I call you Hasselhoff?
No, because that would suggest I'm an alcoholic. You can call me Keanu.
I'm popular with the Germans as well. That could say that.
I was just gonna say.
Yeah, because they like fucking beer. That's why.
Hey, the Germans love a brewski. And basically, we also have Mr. Sean J. Michelin on the show as well. Sean, tell the lovely folks about yourself.
I'm a working Joe. I got a YouTube channel. I haven't really done any work with in a little while, but I'm picking away at it a little bit. Other than that, like I'm a bit outdoorsy.
I checked it out the other day, and it's like you've not done stuff for ages.
Yeah, no, since May. No, I just gotta sit down.
You're a very
and
professional weed smoker on your channel. I do like the way you handle your weed on your channel.
Yeah, in my streams, I don't really give two shits. Like, if I'm doing any Instructables or anything like that, I'm pretty professional. But when it comes to, like, just doing, like, the live streams and that,
I just like the fact that a hand appeared from the left of you holding a blunt. It was like, wow, was that a stage hand?
Yeah, I did. I had that Jesus-looking motherfucker is who Ron calls him. It's my friend Mac, and right now Mac's actually over in your neck of the woods. He's over in Harlow, actually, but he goes to school here.
Yeah, so
they have an exchange program, theater.
Ooh,
nice.
Yeah, you can do your BFA theater here. Caroline has her BFA theater. That's where she's done too. She did Harlow as well about 10 years ago.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so it's his turn at it now. But yeah, no, that's about it. And yeah. I'll be trying to do the streams at some point, just probably twice a month or something like that. And you guys are more than welcome to join.
His streams are like him on beyond his period.
Yeah. He streams like a madman who's drunk too much shit and is taking a slash like a wild motherfucker.
Actually, Mr. Lamboy's post 1975, I was on mushrooms for a couple of those streams as well.
Wow, that's commitment.
The only thing I was on was wine.
I just would have curled up in the corner of my room and pretended I was a fire truck.
Yeah, I was drinking wine. I had 2 bottles of wine. I haven't drank in about 8 months, and I decided to break that record by having 2 bottles of wine. One which tastes like piss. The other one was a bottle of Shiraz. Because
dude, if you're gonna break your record and get pissed on real shit like beer. The wine's...
red wine is great, David. Great wine.
Red wine is... Don't call me David. And second of all, anything you have to drink at room temperature is wrong.
I chill that shit. I make spritz out of
Yeah,
it.
it was temperature. Nice,
I hate when winos they go, you need to take the top off and let it... No, you need to stick it in the fucking fridge because it's an alcoholic beverage. And I don't want to drink stuff that tastes like a cup of tea.
Well, the fun thing about it, well, it wasn't really fun actually, to tell you the truth. I'm a bad drunk. I end up getting so pissed.
You're not an angry drunk though, are you?
No, I'm a crying drunk.
Oh, there you go. That's better. That's the least worst of the two. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it was like, and plus I kept saying to my friend that another friend of mine hates me. I was then talking about.
Please don't tell me you're drunk that just goes, I fucking love you.
No,
you know, you should fucking start a nightclub and shit, and then we'll buy a rocket and go to the moon. It'll be fucking amazing. Fucking love you.
Apparently, I was very, very coherent, which was I don't know if that was a good thing. Sarah Mortimer says, laughing out loud, Keanu, hello.
Oh, huh.
To you, Mr. Wade. Hi, Sarah. Welcome to the episode. We're going to have a few more people coming on as well, hopefully.
Yeah, if I can work out, I'll fucking do it.
Well, I've given the YouTube link on there. If you put on the link at the bottom there, the person's Skype ID who you want to add to the call,
I tried adding him, it just went, you are denied, Mr. Wade, because
give it to
we
me,
hate you.
And then I can... Well, try adding him again. I'll see if I can grab him that way.
Hang on, I'll try adding him again. Right.
But yeah, so, long story short, basically, I'm the type of guy, and I want to ask you guys a little question about this. I'm the type of guy who tends to, you know, I've been having a very bad dating life at the moment, to the point where I actually had someone run away from me after a date. Not lying.
Literally run, sprint in the opposite direction.
Run in the opposite direction. And
Did you goose their meat?
That motherfucker had a jetpack and shit.
Yeah, she had a jetpack. She, you know, it was literally she could lark on her go-kart. She could just go. Whoosh. But it was fine. It wasn't fine. It bruised my ego a bit. But I want
Dude, send me on Facebook, by the way. Send me the link and I'll send it to Tony. I just can't add him.
Awesome sauce. But it's annoying as hell going through that. But it happened. You know, it's kind of one of those things where I didn't have a very good time dealing with that, and also other little situations, because my father recently passed away like 3 years ago. It's his birthday came up, and he's basically the month of his birthday and his death date are the same month. He was born on the 1st of February, and his death date was on the 28th of February. So
don't say death day. I mean, I know your dad, but that's a, no. Say remembrance
final
day.
Yeah.
Yeah, his final day on this earth. But it's one of those things, because me and my dad had this huge issue with one another. We didn't talk for 2 years, and on his his final days was the day that I visited him in hospital. So I never got to say we never got to.
May I ask? You don't have to answer, but may I ask what he?
He took me to
Sorry.
court. He took me to
No.
court. He tried to sue me for
Died
custody
of?
of my kids. He died of a.
Wait, what?
Yeah, he basically ended up in hospital because he had pneumonia from the fact that he was ill, and he let it get worse before dialysis, because he was on dialysis and stuff. And disabled, diabetic, you name it, he had it. He had a very large heart as well. They managed to get him back to normal, and then he had a brain hemorrhage.
Ooh.
Yeah, so they couldn't save him.
You made your peace though, right?
I said goodbye, and that's all I could do. And it was extra painful. Excuse me. It was extra painful having my sister and my nan telling me that I killed him. So yeah, that was fun.
Oh.
But it is what it is. It's one of those things where it affects me especially, like the rest of my family. Hey, Novabug, like the rest of my my family.
Congratulations, Novabug, by the way.
Yeah, congratulations.
And also, and can I just say, awesome, Logan,
addition to the family.
fucking Wind Biscuits.
Oh yeah, I was thinking Logan.
Good biscuits.
Did you name the kid after Wolverine?
Do you know what? Because when he's born now, years down the line, he'll be able to say, so, you know those classic movies with that bloke, he's an Australian, Hugh Jackman, yeah, got his name. Shizzle.
Exactly.
Ooh.
Tony can see the stream, but he can't join.
What he needs to do is, if you get him to give me his Skype ID, I can add him onto the stream. I can add him onto the Skype and get him on the show.
Who is this?
We're really professional people. It's a really big
we
shoot.
really are. I did say to the missus that my son is Wolverine. Bad Novabug. That's exactly who he is. He is Wolverine. He should have a pair of claws. If you have another son, you should just name him after Sabretooth. That's what you should do.
What, you mean Xander?
Yes.
Sorry.
Speaking of Mr. Xander Scullion, he's currently playing the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. He's telling me he's having a horrible time because apparently to download games on both those systems, it takes ages. I mean, extremely ages, depending on your connection type, of course, as well.
Oh, I have a connection story. Oh.
Go for it, Dave.
Right, I bought Tekken Tag Tournament 2 because it was £6.49, which I thought was a bargain in the eShop, right? Do you know, and we know my internet connection's shit. It only worked from Wednesday to fucking Saturday. Do you know how many times I had to download a 15 gig game?
How many times?
3.
Whoa.
Because every time I downloaded it, right, it said, and you know what, I'm not going to say no, it's my fault for not doing this in the first place. Because every time I downloaded it, right, the icon was on my Wii U pad, I'd start it up, there'd be like that little kind of 8-bit picture of Hayachi, and yeah, I start it up and it would, the logo would start, I'd see the title screen, the logo would start spinning and saying, loading and shit, and then it would just go, oh, please plug, we talked about it on I Got Gameplay last week, please plug a power device into your USB. And like, it's a fucking dongle. There's no power unit on it. And yeah, so again, really exacerbated with it. I actually, oh, big word. I actually bothered to, by the way, Storage Hunters, I want one of those 70s floating chairs that hang from the ceiling. They're amazing. Never mind. Yeah, so I actually formatted it through the Wii, because you can't format it on your computer, you've got to format it through the Wii U. Formatted it and downloaded it the next time, and it worked, but I've already maxed out, even though I pay British Telecom for my shit internet to have unlimited, but they hit me with a bill when I go over a certain amount, because if you stop to think about it, I downloaded 45 gigs in, well, 2 days.
Well, Novabug says, my brother who had Talk used to have to wait for a normal PS4 update for over 20 hours. After you got Sky Fiber, it took 20 minutes. I have a rather average connection.
Yeah, but I can't have that. That's my problem, because, you know, it rains, it snows, even when it's, like, really hot in the summer. Well, really hot by our standards. It just, everything affects the fucking phone lines, and my internet constantly just flicks me in the balls with a wet towel and just goes, I hate you.
Well, Dave, do you want to basically introduce our two other guests on the show? We have from Slamcast, Mr. Nick Horacek, Game Pegasus 187, and we also have here Mr. Tony Cruz, by name of Electric Adventures, is it, Dave?
It's Electric Adventures.
He's there, right next to you.
Sweet. Wait, oh my god, he's in my room.
Yeah, he's touching you.
Hey, check it out, right? It's we're spanning the globe.
So, hello everybody. Welcome to the show.
And I'm telling you, we should call this podcast Burn and the Boy and the Super Friends.
There we go.
Yeah, we're.
How you doing, Nick?
By the way, for everybody,
I am here.
For everybody on the stream, I'm Batman. Just saying right now. Okay, I've put dibs on Batman. Dave can be Aquaman.
Oh, fuck off! I don't want to be Aquaman. He just swims in the sea and doesn't come ashore and just throws fucking dead fish at people.
Yeah. Help! I'm being raped. I'll get a seal.
Yeah. Don't let me come out.
I hope you
Don't
hate
let me come out for
starfish. You'll hate what I just threw you.
I'll rescue you with a school of koi.
Hello, go and get me a beer. Do you remember that bit? Don't get me a beer. You know, you're really abusing your powers.
Shut up again.
And try and keep it, you know, try and make it taste less salty. You're like, dude, we live in the sea.
So, Tony, tell us a little bit about yourself and your YouTube channel. Tony, can you hear us?
He's running Australian time, so he's 15 hours behind.
Okay. No worries, hopefully he'll come on. Burhan the Boy and the Super Friends, exactly, Sarah. That's what we should call it. In the Hall of Justice. So,
Can I just do the really bad
Wow, the Hall of Justice.
Do you remember that episode of The Simpsons when he just goes, they all call a sex line, and then it turns out everyone's blokes, and someone just goes, I think it was Apu, just goes, are there any girls here? Apparently not. It's a schlong fest.
Novabug says that Electric Adventures' channel is one of his favourite YouTube channels out there.
He's one of my oldest friends on YouTube, by the way.
Oh, really? Tell us that story, Dave.
When I first started my channel, and he's kept the same icon all the time, because he's not insecure like me, where I change mine all the time. And yeah, he just started commenting on my videos, and I went and checked him out, and yeah, it was just like, it's weird knowing that next month I would have done this for 4 years, and that some of the people you've talked to from day one is still knocking around. Either I'm doing something right, or he's a stalker. Sorry, Tony.
I think he's a stalker.
Plus, he lives in Australia. You know, like, I never understood this for, like, years and years. He lives in Tas, by the way. He's a Tasmanian. I never understood that, you know, years and years ago in this country, we just went, I know, why don't we take all the criminals and send them to an island paradise while we stay in this shit little hovel? Good job, old school England. That worked out really well, didn't it? They get to live in this amazing paradise with perfect fucking weather, and we get to live somewhere where my internet's shit.
Well, saying that, today, by the way, ladies and gents, I went all the way Yesterday, chess hunt.
With
from,
who? With who?
No, on my bike. From South London
Oh,
to chess hunt.
you blew your bike.
Yeah,
Wow.
it was
You
very
know, each
hard.
to their own.
I was travelling on my bike all the way to chess hunt, so I went through like Walthamstow, Broxton, what was it, Enfield, all the way down there, and then
It's right. The rest of the cast. I live in England and I have no idea what these places are.
Oh yeah, Novabug says we don't have insects that can kill in an instant, Dave. So there you go.
True.
Put you off
Yeah,
the
that's one thing I would like to say, which is, I don't like the idea that apparently when my mate lived in Australia for 2 years and my brother was there for like a year long, holiday trip touring thing, he said you have to be very careful when you get up and check your shoes, for like bugs, and make sure you check the underneath of the toilet seat before you take a crap, and don't run your hand down the banister. My brain just went, that sounds like a lot of work, or I could just go to Scarborough on holiday, where the only thing I have to worry about is being stuck in a traffic jam.
Very true.
Link, by the way, Mr. Burhan, link Patty.
Patty Messi, yeah, I can link her on there. Ah, she's already fine here. Admittedly, they have spiders, snakes, toads, introduced species that will kill
Tony's
you.
gone. Bye.
So there's a price for paradise. He's coming back.
I guess he didn't like us talking illy of his country.
No, he said he's coming back. It's going. Okay, he's gonna just
Capture
restart
card,
Skype.
yeah.
Now, yeah, I travelled all the way to continue my story back from there to London. It took me 6 hours by bike.
Just buy a fucking car, Burhan.
Yeah, but my legs are extremely strong, Dave, and I got very, very lean coming back here. It was really cool.
Yeah, but when I
Strong
drive my
like
car, I can let me sum this up for you, Burhan. Your legs may be really strong and lean, but when I drive my car, I can turn my heater to point at my legs.
Yeah, I have to admit, my feet, my toes were so cold, like yesterday night when I got in.
Were your bollocks stuck to the seat?
Yeah, when I got in.
Thank you, Mr. Mixon, for saying the word bollocks correctly for a North American.
My favourite little puppy gave me basically he was licking my toes to like get them to warm up. But yeah, it was fun. But it was a good evening. I spent the evening with my friend and her puppy. That's not a euphemism.
Yeah, it's not the picture. He looked pretty
name?
comfy.
Yeah, he was.
No, sorry, what's her name? Sorry, I don't give a crap about her.
name's
What's
Tia.
his name? So I like puppies.
Yeah, her name's Tia, and her puppy's name is Fedra.
Oh, I miss Rat Boy. Rat Boy, come and live with me.
He's so cute. I've seen him. He's grown so much. His coat's come in. He plays. He was play fighting with me with my socks.
His coats come in. Did literally someone walking? Was he like a pimp? Did someone literally walking outside the room just go, "Your coat has arrived, sir," and put a jacket around him?
No,
So he looked like Snoop Dogg.
He's just like a little chihuahua. He's so cute.
See, I mean, I love Rat Boy, and I call Rat Boy, even though Rat Boy's actually, told you that, I think I mentioned this in a video once, Rat Boy's actually a girl and called Bubbles, but the reason I call her Rat Boy, and my brother, because it's his dog, hates it, because she actually responds to me calling her Rat Boy. I did train her with chicken, in my defense, whereas the first time she was at our house, I remember getting up late, because I worked the night before, and walking downstairs and just going, Jesus Christ, there's a Rat Boy on my fucking couch. And it stuck. And yeah. So, Rat Boy's cool. Kind of a little bit, scrawny and whiny. But Chihuahuas, I mean, I love all dogs. But Chihuahuas look like someone took a chicken leg and put hair on it. It needs to be fattened up.
My dog takes shits the size of chihuahuas.
Hey, my chihuahua, my little friend, he's so cute.
Oh,
and
hello, Tony.
He's the right size. He can sit on my lap. I can give him tickles on his belly, and he goes to sleep. Tony, you with us?
Also gay.
I think he's still got problems. Hopefully, you'll be able to add him back in a
I
second.
think he's been bitten by one of those spiders we hear so much about in Australia.
Novbug says, "How was the gherkin, Mike?" The gherkin was hilarious. Two guys were taking a photo of it, and I said, "Speaking of phallic things, you need to go to Trafalgar Square and see the big blue cock." And that's not euphemism.
Is it still frozen, by the way? You made the news yesterday. The fountains in Trafalgar Square are actually frozen.
Yes. But I didn't go past there. I went from literally from North London to West London to East London and then to Waterloo. southeast.
Waterloo. You sound like a chip sweep.
Toonie! Patmos says, Rat Boy is worse than any Chihuahua. She said
Rat Boy is not worse than any Chihuahua.
She goes,
Rat Boy is a...
She goes, she made friends with a puggle. She named it Porky. And a poor Yorkie mix named Virgil today. Aww.
Which was the greatest name for a dog ever. I do like it when people give dogs human names.
Yeah, apparently the dog
the
was...
episode of Family Guy. When what was the episode of Family Guy where Mayor West is firing his cats at people and he goes, "It's funny because my cats have people names." And it's true.
Oh, sorry, finally got my audio working.
Yay! Hey Tony, how's it going?
Hey.
Sorry, I've been rearranging my entire office, computer room, game room thingy, and yeah, everything's a bit in a state of flux.
Which I would imagine, based on what I've seen of it, would take a bloody long time.
Mm-hmm. Well,
like
I've completely moved with.
Just like when Dave's getting rid of a kebab, it takes a bloody long time.
It does, but that's because your stomach's bigger than mine.
Marmite is gone.
Yeah.
I'm out, by the way. You know when you think you got your emergency Marmite?
Yes.
Sorry, Tony, this is going to sound like an insult to Australia. You know when you think you got your emergency Marmite and it turns out that your old man nicked it and you got nothing? I had to put Vegemite on my toast this morning.
Oh, that's like poor man's Marmite.
It's alright. You know what, though? See, I know I'm a Marmite whore, but Vegemite's not without its charms.
By the way, Patmos says, greetings, Tony. I think she knows you probably just like Dave does.
Oh, sorry, I wasn't looking at the other screen. Yes. Hello, Pedimus.
And we've got Nick here from Slam Castle. Nick, what have you been up to?
Played a lot of Metroid Prime. I downloaded the trilogy on the Wii U Virtual Console. I did. I jumped on it while it was $10.
Oh, does it look shiny and fantastic?
Have we got it here in
yeah,
Dave?
Yeah, it's $8.99 in this country. I don't know why I'm doing this. Like this is not economy, people. Don't base your budgeting skills on me. I found my credit card. Well, I found my credit card. I moved my dresser because it fell down the back of it and got it back. And I don't know. I'm like, I'll wait till the last day. It's like me and Mr. T in The Simpsons. I'll go a little later. But I will get it because I do remember when I actually had it in hard format. That hey, that sounds terrible. That they really did when you play it with motion controls on the first two games. They really did. It wasn't like a dodgy patch or anything. It was like they really did, do the work and implement it properly. And it's just first two games play amazing. Plus, they fixed that awful bug in the second game. I forget the part of the game that if you do something wrong, you cannot go any further, and your save becomes that save, and you're stuck, and you have to do like fucking 15 hours worth of gameplay and play it again. If you played Echoes, if you played Echoes, you know what I mean. That bug on the GameCube. Oh, it's so fucking annoying because I did it once.
More from the chat. No Bug says hello as well, Tony. Sarah says she's from Australia too. Welcome. And No Bug says strange. He was just talking to a friend from Australia. Moved there years ago. So Dave, continue.
Oh, I was just going to say as well quickly. We talked about it when you dropped out before, Tony, which is I've known you from day one on my YouTube channel and your YouTube channel. We've been friends for.
That's right. We started about the same time.
Well, Novabug was telling us a little bit about your channel. Tell us what your channel's about. What do you mostly talk about?
Spiders and snakes and shit that'll kill you because he's an Aussie.
Yeah, spiders and snakes. But yeah, I mean, I was a retro computer. I mean, I programmed games for the MSX and Spectre Video in the mid '80s, and ran one of the main magazines in Australia. For those computers. I've always been a computer programmer and could never afford to buy many games, so I wrote my own. A few years ago, probably about 10 years ago, I started getting more retro computers that I had back in the day that I had sold. Then I ran into this YouTube place and it cascaded from there. So a lot of my collection has actually come along in the last 5 years, especially the console side of things, because I never owned very many of them. I used to go around at my friend's place and play them. And one of the catalysts of getting my collection going was one of my good mates from when I was a kid showed up one day with a box, and in it was an Atari 2600 and all these games, and that was the one I used to play back in the day.
Awesome. Did you ever take that 360 off the top of your wardrobe, by the way?
The 360? Actually, I don't actually play the 3 because my another one of my friends gave me that because I got him I got him a position with a company. So he showed up one day and said I had to play a particular game and I didn't have a 360, so he was a 360 and a copy of that game.
Oh, that's really nice of him.
Oh, nice.
By
the way, quickly just tell us and promote yourself, Mr. Cruz, which is the game you wrote and you're selling on it's the ColecoVision, isn't it? Not selling, but the one you yeah.
Yeah,
the one he's got talent. The last thing I made was a Soviet dragon, but he does cool shit.
All right, let him explain what the game's about. Tony, tell us what the game's about.
Okay, so I've released one release for the ColecoVision in recent times through CollectorVision. They were the publisher, and it was the 3 of my very first machine code games for the Spectre Video. I converted them across onto one cartridge for the Coleco. So you have basically an Asteroids clone called Meteor Shower, what was originally intended to be a Phoenix game called Birds of Orion, that I never quite finished off, and another game which obviously is Pac-Man, which is called Munchman.
Munchman.
All in the one.
Was that aimed at the college market by any chance, Munchman?
That is kind of worrying. Munchman.
Either actually no, aimed at the college market or aimed at the softcore porn community. I'm taking the piss. Sorry, but no, yeah.
Sold quite a lot of copies back in the day, so you never know. And I have a couple of my other later games that I'm working on converting them to the Coleco and also releasing them again for the original Spectre Video. I've been working with a bunch of guys in Russia and a couple other places to produce a cartridge for that machine. Nice. Because we've got most of the hardware worked out now. We actually have a working cartridge.
Wow.
So we and on a side project, those guys have been back porting MSX games to the original Spectre Video, because a lot of people don't realise that the original Spectre Video was actually the thing that started all of the machines like it, including the ColecoVision. Even the ColecoVision is based off a design.
That's something I want to ask you, which is because the Spectre Video was obviously pretty big in your neck of the woods, but no one knows of it in the UK. No one, I don't know what it's like in North America, but no one even knows what that machine. I didn't know what that machine was until I started watching your videos.
Yeah, well, they were based in. There were 2 Americans based in Hong Kong, and they did the original design of their computer. Coleco were making the Coleco Adam and couldn't get it to work, so they bought the basic design logic of Spectre Video to get the Coleco working, and then later on they made the Coleco Adam as an extension to that and finished off that project. But the 2 guys from Spectre Video got together with a guy called Nishi in Japan, who was Bill Gates' friend, and ran Microsoft in Japan, and that's how the original Spectre Video machines ended up with the Microsoft Basic they did, and the MSX Standard got started. But though for some reason there was an import agent in Melbourne, Australia, who brought the Spectre Videos in, and the person I used to work for in Tasmania ran a shop called Let's Play Games, which was actually originally a franchise around Australia.
Is that the shop you worked in?
Yeah. It was called Let's Play Games, but the guy that owned it actually was very well connected. He knew the people who ran Futuretronics, who brought all of the Atari and television and Coleco games in later years into Australia. They were the one importer. Actually, when they went into liquidation, he bought most of the stock. as well. So he was quite big into these things, and he brought the Spectre videos into Tasmania. So that's why they were so big in Tasmania. With a little pockets in Melbourne, and there were some sold in Queensland as well. And he did the same thing again when Spectre Video was doing their run out. He bought all their old stock and sold them. So a lot of the actual sales in Queensland probably would have come from that at a later time rather than in the earlier stock.
So you basically kept the brand going then?
He did. And I suppose I did in a way by running the User Group magazine in Australia after that folded. So,
oh, that's right. That was my next question. Tell the ladies and gents about your the magazine that you ran for a bit.
Yeah. So the original User Group magazine was called the Spectre Video User Group of Australia, and then it was changed to the Spectre Video and MSX Group of Australia as it proceeded on. And then another magazine that was published in the newsagents was brought out called Computer Forum. I bought Computer Forum off the guy for I think $500 because it was the main avenue of selling my software was the magazine.
That's Aussie money, people. So in England that's a $5, in North America that's $10. Sorry.
And I published one more issue under Computer Forum, and then I changed it to the name to Micros Gazette, and published it bi-monthly for about another 18 months.
I have to say, I'm pretty sure when it comes to Nick and Sean, you talking about the well, I don't know about Mike, but I'm familiar with these systems. But you talking about these systems, it's just going like, why is this bloke talking Latin? Why is he speaking in a foreign language? What are these beasts he talks of? Can you kill them with silver?
I've heard of the Coleco Atom before. I've heard of the ZX Spectrum. I'm not too familiar with
See, sorry. So, hang on. Whoa! I'm going to be a prick right now, Mister Ozalek. But the ZX Spectrum. What is the ZX Spectrum? Just say it correctly for me and Tony. You want to. Just think of Pulp Fiction. Zed's dead, baby. Zed's dead. It's the ZX Spectrum. I'm going to go and cry in my corner now. You can't call it the ZX Spectrum. That sounds like someone's raping you. Sorry, Nick. And now we have dead air. My fault, people. My bad. I'm sorry.
Someone else is about to go. Shit.
Yeah. No, I'm just going to say, well, I'm glad you heard of it, but just say, I want to hear you say it, Nick. I want to hear you say it. Look, oh my God, I make you sound like I'm your pimp. Just say
ZX Spectrum.
Thank you. Sorry, I'm a wanker, I know, but I am a wanker. Apart from that comment, but anyway, carry on, Mr. Tony. That was just me. Well, you know where I stand on the ZX Spectrum, so. Greatest gaming machine in the world.
And the ZX Spectrum was a machine that I always wanted but could never got for quite a number of years, although I have owned one for probably about just under 20 years.
Ooh, which model do you have, by the way?
Sorry?
Which model do you have?
Oh, I had a 48K. That's the one that's missing in action in a box that I think we lost.
The rubber mat one? Or?
And the replacement I've got is a plus 2.
Ooh, plus 2. Oh, that's Amstrad. Shame on you.
Oh, hello, Retro Gamer Tim. He says, "Hey Tony, hope to see you at PAX this year, sir. Keep up the great work."
Yeah, I'm going to try. I couldn't go this last year due to scheduling with my kids and stuff like that.
Yeah,
because they moved PAX. Yes, they moved PAX by a couple of weeks and it clashed, unfortunately. So I am going to try and come this year. So.
Well, we're going to go to our version of it, which is Play Blackpool. It's not as gravy as that, but it's still good. Still good.
Yeah, I am plan on hitting the UK, though, Mr. Cruz.
Well, I am planning on that. I already have 40,000 flyer points on Virgin, so I can get there.
You just can't get back.
I can't get home or pay for anything while I'm over there. So
just come here. We'll have a Kickstarter and try and get you home.
Yeah.
Plus, if you do come here, come to Bristol, and I'm going to show you around all the haunted places.
He means his haunted bedroom, which he'll probably never leave.
Yeah. Yeah, I do. I'm sorry.
I know what Dave Wade does. There's a reason why they call him Lawn Boy's Post.
Yeah, it's because I smoked a massive amount of weed when I was at college.
Yeah.
There you go, people. Just dispel the myth why people go, why do you have such a weird title? It was my nickname from college. And I was called Lawn Boy, based on the tractor mower that you could buy in North America, because they were like, Jesus Christ, Lawn Boy. By the way, I don't condone drug use, and I haven't done it for a very long time. But if you do, that's good for you. Cough. Sure.
No, but I just said to you, Dave, did you just slate the Armstrad?
No, I slated Alan Sugar for destroying the Spectrum. The Amstrad is a wonderful beast, and I'm still playing it on the green screen monitor because, you know, people forget that he sent me an Amstrad for Christmas, which is amazing. And plus, also, the list of games I have to buy for that behemoth right now is unbelievable. I didn't slate the Amstrad. The Amstrad is a wonderful, wonderful gaming system. I just slated the fact that Sir, and Alan, I'm not going to call you Sir, Alan Sugar raped the Spectrum.
Alan Sugar raped everything.
Mainly Sir Clive's fault for deciding that he shouldn't make computers anymore and make stupid fucking electric cars that no one liked and were crap. There you go.
Well,
Sean knows about this, and we sent the link to Nick last week on I Got Gameplay, which is go and watch the movie. It's on YouTube, called Micromen, and understand the history of the Spectrum versus the BBC Micro or Acorn, you know.
or you can see the sex tape with Alan Sugar actually raping an Armstrad.
Alan Sugar's hair looks like a Brillo pad. Just saying.
Yeah, I can understand that. So, Tony.
Sorry, that was really random. I apologise for jumping in there and just being a random twat.
What's your favourite console, Tony? What's your favourite console that you hold dear? The one that sort of stands head and shoulders above the rest.
Master System.
Well, actually, no. It's I like collecting the Master System because it's related to the MSX, Coleco, and that. So obviously, eliminating MSX because it's a computer. The best console for nostalgia for me is the ColecoVision.
Yeah, it's my favourite as well because my ColecoVision.
Oh, you can't say the word properly, can you, Mike? Say it.
ColecoVision.
Thank you. You're saying it properly now because Tony said it.
When I was a kid, I used to call it ColecoVision, but it's ColecoVision.
When you were a kid, you called it Coleco right up to last week, mate.
Yeah. But it was my first console. My dad basically had it. We used to play it on his 48-inch TV, which probably could have given me cancer because that's how old that TV was. But
was it like the episode of The Simpsons where you see Homer Simpson's shadow burned into the wall?
Yeah, it was this thing.
Yeah.
My dad used to plug the Coleco at the back of this TV, and the TV was put on a shelf. It was too big for a shelf, but for some reason my dad put it on a shelf. And I remember being little and I was playing the console, and the shelf snapped, and the TV was about to fall on the floor. And there's me, 5-year-old me, and my brother holding this TV, screaming for my older brother to get the console. I was like, Hass, get in here now! And all you see was his pants down going, I'm coming! Running to go and sort the TV out. It's just
I have this image of your dad pushing you all out of the way, you know, not caring about his children, but go, save the precious! Save the precious.
Yeah, it was funny as hell. My dad did not want to give that TV away because he had it since his marriage to my mother, and at the back of it there were wires sticking out from where you can see he fixed the TV a couple of dozen times. And I remember my sister's ex-husband at the time goes to me, can you put your hand at the back of this TV just to check on this? I was like, sure.
Oh my god.
And then he shot past the freaking fridge. It wasn't one of my greatest moments. I was a kid, I was stupid, but he was just some weird Turkish guy that ended up nearly electrocuting me. Well, actually did. So, you know, that was fun. But after we realised the thing was a health hazard, we decided to get rid of it. But the Coleco...
Here's a fun-related electrocution story. My older brother Jason, when we all lived in my parents' house, had a N64 back in the day, and he was such a lazy twat that, and obviously in the UK, I don't know what it's like in Oz, but I know in North America you don't have plugs with fuses in. We have big fat plugs. I don't know if you've ever seen them in this country. We have big fat plugs, and the back of his plug was off, and he never got round to replacing it. And I remember playing his N64 in his room, and then hearing the door clunk and thinking, "Shit, Jason's back! Crap! He's gonna catch me playing his N64." So I went to pull the plug out and turn it off, and I touched the live wire. And obviously in the UK we have 240 volts, and it threw me across the room. And being a complete retard, do you know what the first thing I said was? When I kind of got up against the wall and just
Sexy
went,
biscuits?
no, I didn't.
That's how I coined the catchphrase.
I just remember thinking, ow, oh, I still time to take it out and make it look like I wasn't playing his console. I wasn't worried about my health, I was just worried about him not realising. And then I remember him coming upstairs and just looking at me and just going like, in front of his door of his bedroom, and just going like, "Nothing to see here, Jay. There's nothing to see here. I was just passing by your bedroom, you know. There was a breeze."
Novabug says that the best console he believes is the Mattel Hyperscan, laughing out loud. And Sinclair don't even have hair. He says also that it would be awesome for Tony to come here to little old United Kingdom. You're going to show him around then, Novabug? You're going to show him around.
After I take you on a ghost tour, Tony.
Yeah. Has anybody else got any electrocution stories? What about you, Sean?
Yeah, no, I was going to say our plugs in here in Australia have 3 prongs rather than this weird 2-prong rubbish that goes around most places. I suppose the UK has 3 as well, don't you?
Yeah, we have 3 prongs.
Yeah, we do.
One at the top,
See, this is something I have to say about North America. I'm not having a pop at you, Nick and Sean, but I don't get this. You plug something into the wall, right? But there's no on or off switch on the wall. Like, what's that? That's just asking for a kid to stick the fork in it.
Switches. There are on and off
Everything
switches.
switches. Plus, also, I got really confused when I lived in North America for a bit, which is, why is your light switch opposite of ours?
Because they don't like
Down is on for us, but down is off for you, isn't it? Up is on for you. I get confused. It's like, no. Look, people, right? Canada, right? You're Commonwealth, so you should adhere by our rules. America can't tell you what to do, but the bottom line is we invented everything, so just adhere to our standards. It's that simple.
Novabug says
and drive on the left.
Chris Jericho for the world.
Yeah, Novabug says 3 is the magic number, and Patma says I earned the name Sparky a few years ago. Was that because you basically electrocuted yourself, Patimus, or was that for other reasons?
Hey, don't say that. I had a brilliant trick at college, by the way.
Oh, what was that?
I had a pair of trainers that, for some reason, just didn't work with me and the clothes I wore, and would always statically charge me. And I spent 3 months of my life being scared of getting out of the car and going up to my front door because I would get a massive static shock. Sorry, Winnie Pops. When I touched anything that was metal. And then one day I found out that I was an X-Men because I discovered the greatest party trick in the world, which was wearing these shoes and being, massively charged up with static. We had a gas hob in my college kind of, kitchen, and I could turn the gas on and let it build up a little bit, and then I could go to touch, the hob and ignite the gas with the static spark from my finger.
And that's when they nicknamed him Pyro.
Yeah. And plus, everyone else was like, you gotta remember, man, I was at college, we were all baked off our tits at this point. It's like, wow, that's amazing. I just went, yep, I'm an X-Men, bitches.
Novbug said he found a cable cut off, thought he'd test it if it was live by putting a 2-penny piece at the end. And I think the results weren't very good for him. Papa says it involved soup, extension cords, inexplicably in the ceiling, and a dream. Was the dream after you electrocuted yourself, unconscious, Patmus?
I would like to know how you involve soup in this, Paddy.
I want to know as well. He goes, no bug, it went being welded the coin to the cable and threw me back 3 feet. Ouch! How the hell are you still alive? How the hell are you still coherent? So, Tony, tell us a little bit about like your favorite kind of modern day console. What's the console that you play regularly now in terms of the 7th or 8th gen, or even going back to like 6th gen consoles, basically? What's the one that kind of does it for you?
Well, I sort of alluded to it before in that I hadn't played an Xbox 360 until quite late in the thing. So because I went PlayStation 2 after PlayStation 1, so I went PlayStation 3. So probably last year I played a lot of older PlayStation 3 games, catching up on a bit of backlog. And then I got a Vita.
Yes.
Because I have 4 girls, and they're getting older, and even though we have 2 lounge rooms...
Tony, don't say it like that. You sound like a pimp. I have 4 daughters.
Well, getting access to a TV can be a challenge.
Oh,
so the Vita was the perfect answer to play reasonably modern, action-orientated games without having a screen. So I suppose it's been the Vita. We do have a Wii U, though. I actually got one of those on launch, and we mainly started with Nintendo Land for the kids. But at the same time, and partially because I wanted to play it, we got Lego City, and I've played that a bit.
It's actually one of the best
we haven't got all
games on the system.
Grand Theft Auto, but well, Lego 4. Basically.
Yeah, it's Grand Theft Auto with Lego. It's a perfect, really. And I've been enjoying that. Mark Vigia sent me Resident Evil. That was really good on the console.
Great,
the kids got Smash Brothers. Got Smash Brothers for Christmas.
It's amazing.
But they haven't let me play it yet. We did get Mario Kart there, and I have played that.
Yeah, Mario Kart's awesome. Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
I did the same thing. I got that for my kids for Christmas too, and I managed to, like, as a steal, I went to a cash converters. I walked by and I paid 15 quid for 2 Pro controllers, which my sons were just having so much fun with. It's a great little console. I think it's for a starter console for any like children around the age of like 3 and up, basically. The Wii U is just purely and utterly amazing. Great console. And it's good.
Yeah, my favorite console is...
What's that?
My Raspberry Pi.
You love that Raspberry Pi.
I fucking do, and they announced the Raspberry Pi 2, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm fucking getting that. No fucking debate.
So, what about you, Nick? What's your favourite console?
Oh, it's kind of back and forth between the 360 and the Xbox One. Xbox One mostly because of Call of Duty and WWE 2K15.
Thank you for still
I'm
keeping
actually
the
working on the
360
360
dream alive, by the way, Nick.
Yeah. On the 360, it's been actually a lot of Borderlands 2 and Assassin's Creed 3.
Yeah, I still think Assassin's Creed's got a long way to go because it still has that whole faffing about Creed mentality to it, which doesn't help.
I just think they should release a version that's fucking fixed from day one.
Yeah, that too. And Tony, let's ask you a question in terms of game developing, because you develop your own games. What do you think about the whole mentality that a lot of companies have with the whole release a game broken, patch it later kind of mentality?
Yeah, well, I mean, like I'm programming, new games for the ColecoVision. Once you send the cartridge out, it's game over. It has to be perfect. And you can actually see a little bit of the modern development mentality creeping into some of the retro releases. Like a lot of people have gone to a lot of work to make some of these new homebrew games, but they still haven't quite tested them to that last nth degree, and they come out with bugs in them. And I think it's a thing that has crept into the development methodology, and people have gotten used to it. They're so used to having that lifeline that they can just rush the game out for a deadline, and then they'll fix it afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah, sadly we just accept it.
Yeah, exactly. And they might
we
get...
all piss and moan about it, but the bottom line is we buy it, so we basically accept it.
Dave, let the man talk. So yeah, no, I was saying
and that's the thing. Yeah, they've done these releases and they've got panned every single time. I mean, even even if it's just servers not working or the game buggy, all of these big games have come out. They've still sold the copies. They've got panned in the press afterwards, but people still go back and buy the next game. And so they think they can get away with it. So I don't think it's going to correct itself anytime soon. It's probably going to get worse.
Yeah, no, I agree, and Nick can attest to this. With the new Assassin's Creed Unity, Ubisoft got a huge shot in the arm over it because people were complaining up the wazoo from that game, weren't they, Nick?
Yeah, it was ridiculous. And it's one of those things, it's funny, depending on the studio. I mean, Call of Duty comes out every year. I mean, there are updates and there are, weapon tweaks, nerfs, buffs, all that. But it's not nothing that is game-breaking like Assassin's Creed Unity.
Yeah, that was...
Assassin's Creed could wait 2-3 years. And the problem with, the reviews is they don't go back later and amend them and say, oh, these things have been since patched and are now fixed. So it's going to hurt them. It still hurts them in the long run because the reviews that come out and say this is glitchy and buggy, they don't get fixed either.
Just want to say a good night to Novabug. Before you go, Novabug, let's get the guys to answer your question. He goes, what's everyone's best bargain in recent times? He got a 22-inch LCD TV with built-in DVD player for free when he asked the guy carrying it to the dump last week. Score. So start with you, Tony. What was your best bargain that you got in recent times?
In recent times, I got a low German low TV, CRT TV for $20.
Yeah, so that's pretty good. Dave, what about you?
I got a Pioneer 6-tray changing stereo for £5. And Pioneer are good. I don't know what it's like in the rest of the world, but Pioneer are a really, really good, solid, stereo company. But yeah, it was in the Heart Foundation downtown, and it's weird. Once you have a computer and all these modern consoles and shit, you forget that you once upon a time used to have a dedicated device to playing music. And yeah, I was in the Heart Foundation. I just remember thinking, cause the Heart Foundation is a charity shop, but they have two divisions in this country, which is charity shop and electrical store, which is where I bought my 3DO from. They didn't know what that was worth as well, so that was a bargain. And yeah, they had a Pioneer 6 changer in there with the amp unit and the speakers, and I got it for £6. And I just remember thinking, shall I just buy it, or shall I say, did you make a mistake on the price? No, fuck it, I'll just buy it.
That's what I do. Whenever they make a mistake on the
price... Oh, that makes me bad, though. It makes
me
feel like I ripped off charity.
No, but it's their own fault, dude. Their own fault.
And it's amazing. And, it sounds really stupid, but you get used to modern consoles and stuff, and shit like that, but there's something really satisfying about putting 6 CDs in a tray, pressing the button, and it goes into the door, and then hitting the rotate button and just saying, random me up, bitch.
What about you, Nick? What was your bargain?
I found Metal Gear Solid on the PlayStation 1 Black Label for $1.
Holy
in a pawn shop.
Shit! I think Nick wins, people.
You had Metal Gear
Nick
what?
Wins.
Metal Gear Solid, the first on the PS1 Black Label. I found it for $1.
Yeah,
Mike, if you have to say Metal Gear what, I think we should all get a turn at kicking you in the balls.
I found Metal Gear Solid Sons of Liberty at a charity shop for the same price. And that was the original deluxe edition for the PS2. I did open up the case. The disc looks scratched to hell, though. Sean, what about you? I think Sean's left us for a second. I think he's gone to get food. So thanks for that one, Novabug. We answered that for you. And he goes, Black Label MSG for $1. That's the winner. I think so, Novabug. That is the winner.
Yeah. And it's the greatest game. As you know, people, it's my favourite game of all time.
Yeah.
Metal Gear Solid on the PlayStation is the greatest game ever made.
I do like the...
Sometimes I'm going to make a really bad joke. Sometimes I play it just so I can touch myself.
No, he's not making a bad joke. He actually means it. When Dave screams "Snake, Snake," he actually says it in a pleasurable voice. So Snake.
Yeah. And when I play on the GameCube, it's just not the same.
It's not the same.
Snake.
You don't get that same wood.
I'm like, please Mei Ling, stop talking about my penis like that. But a bum. Sorry. It is the greatest game in the world ever, though. By the way, I stand by that. In fact, here you go. Here's a little side tangent. If it wasn't for Metal Gear, would current games, cinematic games, be where they are now? Because that game was an absolutely massive wake-up call. Not only did it say, like, you basically have to, look, I'm doing my cutscenes with the game engine. That's how fucking cool I am with myself. But it was, forget, like, games like Dragon's Lair and shit like that. It was basically, I think, Metal Gear, the original game, and 2 to a degree, not so much 3, and then 4 got really convoluted. I think they were basically, that's how you make the home movie experience into a game for home, if that makes sense. Because they were a complete cinematic experience that you could enjoy and play, So many games these days try and do stuff like that, and you just get, like, which is the problem with 4, which is, I'm watching a cutscene, I'm not playing. Whereas the original Metal Gear just told all the story of the cutscenes that were short, in place, and then he went straight back to the game. And in the game, with the intercom coming through to you, it was like, holy shit, I'm basically in a James Bond movie.
Yeah, it's one of those where it allows you to escape from the game. It gives you that visceral kind of experience to it as well, which is great. It's a fun game that you can play where you can get immersed in the story. It's got great game mechanics, and you've got to work a little bit harder. And I think that's a lot of what a lot of games miss now.
Plus, you can hide in a box. I think it's safe to say that game invented that. You could hide in a box. I mean, who didn't want to hide in a box? I mean, who didn't hide in a box when they were a kid?
As long as no one's making love to the box while you're hiding in it.
Yeah. I love to hide in a box, but she better buy me dinner first. So.
Oh God, you remind me of that scene in Ted, where he's like, so.
They're making a Ted. I know this is not the Untitled Movie Show, but they're making a Ted sequel. I'm so happy.
Mia Kunis is returning, which is a shame.
Oh fuck her! I just want Ted.
Oh, what if I could? But I think Ashton Kutcher beat me to it. So, Tony, in terms of like retro systems, is there a retro device, non-gaming, that you're very partial to?
Laserdiscs players.
Oh, you had to say that. Oh.
Dave's got wood. So tell us a little bit about the Laserdisc players. Which ones, like, because I know my favourite brand is the Pioneer. Can't go wrong.
Yeah, I had back in the day. I made there was basically the Pioneer player, and then there was the Yamaha player. Now all of these were only imported here. In very limited numbers. All of the discs were, very limited. You had to order them into stores. There were very little chance you'd find them in stock. So I ended up getting the Yamaha player because it actually had better video quality, even though the Pioneer had slightly more features at the time. I've since managed to get one of the later Pioneer ones that's got the karaoke function built in it as well, because I still have my original Yamaha one, and the output from that can wander a little bit. It's only got a composite output, and you can occasionally get a bit of fuzz nowadays. So I'd say it's getting a bit long in the tooth, and I may have to go inside.
I mean, I know it's old. The technology's old, and don't get me wrong, I love a Laserdisc player. Mainly for Back to the Future and the original Star Wars trilogy, but they made this machine with such, at the time, amazing visuals, and then they gave it such a limited, output to a telly.
Yeah.
Do you have the SCART socket? Do you have the Euro socket in ours, or?
We did have back then. So as an example, the reason why I picked up that low TV is on the back of it has two SCART sockets, and the second one can be an in or an out. And it does have, and it's a later low TV, so it's actually got composite and audio in on the front as well. Earlier low TVs only had SCART, and that was it. So Australia was multi-format back then, but it is very hard to find SCART based items. So I use a Sony PVR that has SCART in and SCART out to do my capture from my retro computer side of things, because basically I've got all them wired up with SCARTs.
So, Patmus just said, are Nick and Sean still on, or are they dead? Should we contact the next of kin?
Still here. Still here.
Sorry, I'm being a fanboy talking to Tony. I do apologise.
Tony, there's another thing I want to ask you, actually. You live in Australia. Apparently your censorship laws in terms of gaming are really overboard. How does that affect you getting like the newest titles?
We have our laws are slightly different. So you can get away with nudity and things like that, but they're very against violence. So video games had to go through a rating system for
So
quite some
basically,
time.
you're saying you can have a shag, but woe betide you punch someone in the face.
That's right. Whereas I believe in the US it's the other way around. You can have games pretty much as violent as you want, but if there's any sign of nudity in a game, it has issues.
Yeah, they'll make it basically. I think they give it the R rating. No, it's not the R rating. It's the what was the other rating that you guys have, Nick?
M.
Yeah.
We have M for mature. We have T for teen. We have E for everybody.
I think it's the R rating then, because
Can I just say
they had
M
that
for
one.
mature? I like that. Which is, how do you like determine what M for mature is? Because you could have a kid who just popped out of puberty and is, running his household and working 4 jobs a week to keep his family and like food and shit. So technically he's mature. So the only reason I say that is in this country, other countries they go like, we give you an age, you're allowed to play this game, but when they just say M for mature, well, define mature.
It's 17 and
Because
up.
I know 40-year-olds who aren't mature.
Hey, I'm not mature. I'm 33 and I'm about as mature as a wooden plank on steroids.
I'm 39 and I just felt a little bit sad that I said I know 40-year-olds because I'm like, oh, next year I will be one.
Soon, Dave. Soon.
I think I can pass for 30.
Aoshay says, yep, guns fine, sex bad. Patma says, nudity, hurrah. So that's another thing, actually, because there's a lot, I do watch a lot of Zero Punctuation and a lot of Yahtzee, and he was complaining a lot about the fact that the Australian imports are, you can barely get anything in terms of releases. It's very fickled in terms of what types of games you're getting when you're getting them. Like at one point, even Mortal Kombat was still like banned in Australia, if I'm correct.
Yes, it was for a time, yeah. But basically, now that they've introduced the rating system, is all games have to be rated.
Yeah. No, it's the same.
So
thing
they
over
must
here
go
as well.
through. Yeah, so they must go through the review board first before they're allowed to be released. So there's a time. That's why sometimes there could be a time delay there.
Cool. Okay.
But I'd like to point out, that Grand Theft Auto was approved for release and rated, and Target and Myers were selling it, appropriately, pretty much the same game for quite a period of time before they decided to remove it from the shelves after they got sent a petition from a minority group.
Yeah, that was
So
ridiculous.
wait, it was pulled? It was pulled off the shelves because
Yeah.
some parent group just
Only,
went, no, we don't like
only
this.
those stores, even though they've been selling exactly pretty much the same game, because it was only the release of the HD version that was the catalyst behind this, but it is intrinsically the same game. But they pulled all versions.
I suggest a new
But it was
rating
only
system in Australia
Yeah.
that says basically on the front, instead of saying like, rated, for adults or whatever, it just says, parents, educate your children properly or fuck off. This game is rated,
Oh, yeah.
fuck off.
Yeah, the problem is, like over here, our rating system's not legal. So we have the
That's
thing called
right. That's a
the
good point,
ESRB
actually.
rating system. And basically, the way to get around it, so I can advise if I'm selling a game to this child, it's under my discretion. Now, I can refuse, say, little Timmy from buying my game, but if his mum and dad comes in, knowingly buying the game on that kid's behalf, nothing I can do about it.
That's right.
Yep.
Yeah, but see, now I don't have a sexy job, I admit that, but I you know, if I, and I've got in trouble at work before, you know, where I've stood up to someone and, you know, like a kid has tried to buy an 18, you know, rated game, and I'm like, I can't sell it to you. I'm like, why not? Because it's an 18 rated game. And kids seem to think that, you know, certification on a game isn't endorsed the same way that it is on a movie. But I'm like, no, I can't sell it to you. Piss off. You know? I'm like, oh, I just get my dad to come back and buy it then. Well, as much as it bites
and I
me
think
in the
half
ass, get your dad to come back and buy it for you,
the
but I'm not selling it to you.
Yeah, I think half the problem was that stores like EB Games over here and everything, they will enforce ratings. So, you know, they won't sell an R-rated game, whereas a place like Target, which is just a large department store, you walk out the checkout, they've got no training to enforce. So it doesn't matter what age you could be an 8-year-old kid and you could walk out with an R-rated game and they wouldn't even blink an eye.
Well, I have to, because if I sell, you know, an 18-rated game to a child, and, you know, it turns out that, you know, there's an inspector there, you know, which the council do from time to time, I'm liable for the fine, not the company.
Well, just so you guys know, in other news, recently a user by the name of Darth Semi on popular photo sharing site Image Shack leaked the official images of the new villain in Force Awakens. Lucasfilm, who's owned by Disney, is demanding from the San Francisco Federal Court to order California-based Image Shack to hand over all personal information of the account holder Darth Semi. Though the Digital Millennium Copyright Act providers like Image Shack are required to remove images upon holders' rights to request, the DCMA also gives rights for right holders to sue infringers for up to 150 grand per violation. So what does everyone think of this? It's getting juicy.
Bollocks.
Horseshit.
Fucking bullshit. Where's your soundbite, Burhan?
What's that?
I said, where's your soundbite? Fucking bullshit.
I was going to say, somebody please think of the children. I don't know what to say on this. This is actually hilarious. I can understand LucasArts are getting a bit pissy about it, but to go out and sue people, you know, it's
yeah, well, there seems to be a big wave of the property owners actually doing something to protect their property. So you can see that with all of the movie and TV broadcasters have gotten together into a group and they took down a shit ton of torrent sites recently. Right, so they're going after and protecting their properties.
No, it's fine. As I said, you know, for me, you know, for those of you out there, by the way, who are streaming content like this, it's fine to stream it. Do not download. That's where you get the kicker. And do not upload stuff onto streaming sites because you'll get found out and sued. Don't do it.
Oh, be on YouTube and get raped for doing nothing wrong.
As Dave does all the time.
Yeah.
So, guys, Sean, Nick,
I currently have, by the way, I have to say quickly, I currently have 15 copyright claims on my channel.
I have 0. Yay!
Any claims I had, I got the reverse.
Yeah, I got my recent one dropped from Nintendo, so I'm happy about that.
Well, I got one dropped, so, you know, there's hope for the future, but I have a massive amount of claims right now, and it really fucking annoys me.
I do love when you say hope for the future, because I just sit there and go, ha ha ha, hope for the future. Citizen knows what your future holds. X-Men.
Yeah, I pretty much expect if I make a video with Konami music in it, that there's going to be a claim.
Yeah,
they own my Konami actually own any Konami video I make right now. We've come to this deal, which is they basically won't drop my, you know, copyright strike me. I just go, made a Konami video, boom, there you go, just put adverts on it and shit, you can have it. What? And I'm not going to say this to Konami, but what makes me laugh about this is I have 35 videos already live with Konami title games in it, and they've not realised yet. So, you're stupid, Konami, but don't tell them.
So
I was just playing Proteus.
Sean, Nick, is there any questions that you want to ask Tony here, our lovely guest?
And don't ask him about
I got one.
Go for it.
I got one. Hold on, now I need something to type into. Okay, here we go. Guess what keyboard I'm using? It's retro.
No,
just kidding.
I was going to say it doesn't
It is
have
pretty
it
retro.
doesn't have metal. It doesn't have metal levers in it, so it's not that old.
Oh my god, you're an X-Man. Look at his hearing. Christ. Your
I'll give you another
keyboard-
clue. It's got about a 6-pound steel plate in it.
So, Tony, guess that keyboard.
Oh, then it's an IBM XTR AT keyboard then.
Is he right, Sean?
Model M, French Canadian.
Yay!
Oh, shit, you're fucking Magneto.
That is impressive.
Wow.
He's the Charles Xavier of keyboard enthusiasts.
This should be on you, not a new segment, you know. Tony, guess that keyboard.
That was Tony Cruz with Guess That Keyboard. Now, going off from that, Tony, how did you you said a little bit about your early starts on YouTube. How did your channel get so popular? I know you're moderately popular, like Mr. Dave Wade over here. What is it that kind of pulls people?
Thank
to
you for calling me Dave and not David, by the way, sorry.
I know. I thought if I called you that one more time, you're probably going to come to my house and beat me.
I suppose it might have been consistency, if you know what I mean. And I did the usual thing. I first started YouTube and I did bits and pieces, but then I figured out I'm going to be getting new games, so I'm going to show opening them and hold them up in front of the camera, which lots of other people do, but I'm not just going to put them on the shelf. I'm going to play every single one of them. So every single game that I receive, I don't put it on the shelf until I've played it and made a video of it. Worst case, if anything semi-modern, so it's like PlayStation 2 upwards,
He said
I don't
semi.
videos of those and I show them in my monthly video. So I suppose it's consistency. And
I'll tell you something else, Tony,
obviously-
about you, which is why I liked you from day one. And I've talked about this before with other channels, but it's also, don't talk yourself shy, personality. Because you could have the greatest, shiniest game collection in the world, and you could wave it around in front of you and say, I've got this, day one release, but, well, I'm sorry, no offense, mate, but your personality is boring. Fuck off.
Your personality is like
spirit,
making love to
so-
a toaster.
yeah.
There's just no spark.
Yeah. But that's what I like about your channel, because got a personality. So, when you raise a game and talk about it, I know that you're invested within the subject, as opposed to some people just go, I bought this so I can get views. Whereas you
Yes.
buy something
Yeah, no.
and then show, the video with the gameplay, and it's just like, he bought that because he fucking loves the game.
Patman
He just
says
showed it to
Tony's
us.
popular because he's sincere, enjoyable, fun, and interesting in terms of presenter. I agree too, Patmas. So yeah.
Plus,
you're a big fan of
plus
Patty
you
there.
have excellent hair, Tony, may I just add.
Now the
Yeah.
last. Yeah, go on, Tony.
I was going to say, yes, and I'm doing well to keep it, yes.
Yeah. The last question I think I'm going to pose to everybody here today, as part of the show, because we are getting on. It's like 2:30 now. Is
2:30. You know it starts with a T,
2:30,
right?
lad. 2:30.
2:52 here.
Yes.
10:52 here, I mean.
So let's pose this question: who's going to go on Valentine's Day to watch the 50 Shades of Grey movie? Anyone? Start with you.
No.
Tony.
Hell no.
Tony, you gonna take the missus to go and see?
I
a
just
bit of-
imagine a dust bunny
a bit-
blow across the screen right then.
Yeah, no, we're going to go. There's actually a theatre being set up on what's called Rosny Hill, and they're going to play 4 old movies. We're going to go watch those. When I say old movies, you've
What are
got
the old movies?
Dirty Dancing, Pan's Labyrinth. Pan's Labyrinth is what I want to go and watch.
Pan's
The big
Labyrinth is
screen.
a really sad movie.
An amazing. It's an amazing movie.
It's
It makes
amazing.
me cry every time I
Yeah,
see it. But
I
it's an
was
amazing movie.
Trying to think of the other two. my daughter only quickly flashed it in front of me last night, and I can't remember the other two, but the other 2 movies were quite interesting as well. So, and you go along and you basically pay $15 and you get a picnic pack, and you take your own rug, and they're going to have a big screen on on. It's a bit of a natural hill sort of thing. So I'm going to do that.
Yeah, that's great.
I can't make a really bad joke.
Dave,
if you go and see
you're
50
gonna go
Shades
watch it,
of
Dave?
Grey, do you have to take your own rug? Sorry, put a boom.
You know what, Dave? I'm gonna take you. You and me should go. Lawboy, Burhan and the boy watch 50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah, but we're just sit there and chastise and slag off the movie.
Yes, but,
And you ain't spooning
It's
with
just
me.
Size Theater
shit.
3000 style.
Unless you buy me a fucking hot dog and shit.
yeah.
Which will basically, in this country, buy a hot dog for me, you know, and popcorn in the cinema will make you bankrupt.
Well, after a few comments from Miguel, I think I'm gonna cosplay at the 50 Shades of Grey premiere as Sexy Doc Brown. So I'm just gonna wear my bow tie, my Doc Brown hairdo, and as I go into the cinema, I'll be going, "Great Scott!" So that'll be the fun part.
So prediction, by the way, people. 50 Shades of Grey, yeah? Do we think it's just going to end up as another Showgirls?
I think it's gonna.
It's like Showgirls for girls.
Yes.
Yeah.
apart
I think it's
from-
going to tank. You know, don't hold me on this and don't shove it in my face if it does well. But I think it's not going to be the behemoth that they think it's going to be.
Yep.
We will see. We shall see.
Basically, I don't
Only
give
time
two
and
shades of
hormones will tell.
Yes.
I will download it in case I can see some beaver and, you know, nips.
We
and
at
shit, but-
Burhan and the Boy do not condone downloading and piracy of any movies. Mr. Dave Wade and what he does on his own free time is up to Mr. Dave Wade.
On my own free time, I save orphans.
He
Protect
does from
Africa,
burning buildings
so-
that he sets on fire himself.
Yeah, true, it's true. Sorry.
Yeah, Dave, why did you do it? I just wanted to be the hero.
Oh my god, Dave Wade. You
Hey,
saved
that's what
15
George
orphans from this
Zimmerman
building.
did when he.
Oh god.
Sorry, carry
Miguel
on.
just
George
goes.
Zimmerman did. He
Miguel-
was right there at a car accident. He looked like the hero.
Miguel just says,
I currently have to ask a question to Nick, which is, you saw my Facebook post when I was stuck at work and I couldn't watch the Super Bowl.
Yep.
And you know when you get that one dickhead at work who ruins it for you? And I was about to go home. I was literally 5 minutes from leaving the building and going home. And you know when you get that asshole who just goes, I know I can piss on your chips and ruin your entire day. And he told me the fucking score 5 minutes before I left. And I was, you
Wow.
fucking asshole.
Are you?
That's not
Oh my
cricket.
god.
That's not cricket. And it really annoyed me because I have watched the game since on catch up, but I don't care what anyone says, right? If you know the score of any sporting event, you can enjoy it on catch up without knowing, you know, what's going to happen. But the minute that prick at work just goes, oh, by the way, they lost. Thank you. You've just ruined my whole night. And why did you take so much pleasure in fucking telling me? Now I'm going to tell your wife you're cheating on her, you prick. True story.
Wow.
But it all did come down. I know it's not a sportscast, but it all did come down to that interception at the end because I did watch it. And even though I couldn't enjoy it like a live event, but it all came down to that interception at the end, and it was fucking awesome. Plus, no offense, you know, fans of your team, I'm glad you didn't win. Sorry. Because, you know,
Yeah, I was rooting against Seattle.
I like a mix-up,
In
if
all
that makes
honesty.
sense. Familiarity is boring, so I kind of like that. But yeah, I watched it.
Well, they
I
were
just
trying to
was
catch
really
him off
annoyed.
guard.
Yeah,
They
I
were
like the
trying to
fact
catch
that,
him
and
off guard.
I love your new banner, by the way. That was hilarious.
Yep. Brady wins, LOL.
Yeah,
He's the John Cena of the WWE, or the NFL.
Do you know what makes me laugh though? When and this is true. This is just my observation, but you take anyone who ever wins the Super Bowl or any trophy in North America, coming down to hockey, you know, football,
Yep.
basketball. But right, you'll know this now. You'll notice this now. Sorry, if you look at anyone posing with the trophy, look how dead their eyes are.
Dave, Would you pose with my trophy?
Well, no, because
Inane sexual reference.
you haven't bought me dinner yet, so fuck off.
But I'm chow. Patimus says, fuck that noise. Stupid movie about a whiny bitch and the woman who follows him around misrepresenting SMBD. Fair.
Yeah.
Battery cells are like to go up.
I was going to do naughty shit. I think I got the tagline for the poster on 50 Shades of Grey, which is, it should say 50 Shades of Grey. I was going to do naughty shit with you with my tie. I haven't read the book. I'm just basing this on what people told me.
Tony, speaking of that, what's your favourite book?
Favourite book?
Wait, no. We're missing the elephant in the room.
What's
Tony. 50 Shades of Grey. Masterpiece? Or bollocks?
I think he answered that when he said he's going to go watch something else instead.
Yeah, I think that's a giveaway.
I need him to clarify so I can put it at the bottom of the poster.
Yeah, no, not interested in that book whatsoever. I'm just trying to think of my favourite book.
Man, we forgot the question that comes around from the Retro Unlim feed, which is, Tony, Back to the Future trilogy, rate it in sequence. I say one, 3, 2. Where do you go?
Yeah, 1, 3, 2, definitely.
Thank you for validifying my creepiness, I guess. But yes, because 3 is better than 2. You think 2's better than 3, but then when you get old, you realise that 2's shit. A good movie, people, sorry, but 3, which you hated as a kid, actually has more, heart and soul and genuine storytelling in it than 2, which is just a shiny fucking effect bowl of just going, oh, we can do this with fucking, industrial light magic. So yes, thank you, Tony.
Yeah, it's just number 2 was just a fill-in.
Tell Monkey Spaz.
Getting the story started, whereas 3 actually had a story.
Some category for Netflix, Bean Flicks. Primus is on fire. Apparently, there's been a Randy Quaid YouTube rant thing. I don't know what this is about. Travis Goss said he just threw up in his mouth because the troubled actor did a bizarre YouTube meltdown video, which is a 2-minute clip. I'm not sure if I want to click on that because we did the Christmas Vacation series, and he's known for that, and he did the straight to DVD kind of thing. Just no, I'm not going to click on that. I've got too much respect for Randy Quaid and what he used to be. But apparently Hollywood are evil and they're out to kill him and steal his house. Never knew. So Tony, is anyone out to kill you and steal your house? Actually, no. Let's go back to the book. What kind of books do you read?
There's an interesting story you could share with us, Tony, before we part ways, which is, tell us about when you were evacuated, because I remember talking to you behind the scenes. Tell us about when you were evacuated from your house.
Did you do a Stallone like when the fire alarm went off and ran away and left your wife and kids inside?
This is so recently we had a storm, and we have a holiday home down at White Beach, which is near on the Tasman Peninsula, if you want to bring up a map of Tasmania. And we were down there. My second eldest daughter was at home by herself, and we had a massive, great big storm that vibrated the nails out of the roof and then lifted the ridge cap of the roof. So a whole lot of water came into the roof, and it started cascading down directly through where the fire alarm was.
Ouch.
So I had a terrified 18-year-old at home by herself. I mean, she's 18, but and then I drove through the storm up to to try and sort things out, and that was one of the scariest car rides I've ever been in. So middle of the night, I left at 2:30 at night, and I got home at about 3:45 in the morning. And there were trees across the road.
Oh God, that sounds horrible.
And the previous year, when we were down there was massive fires, and we were actually trapped on the peninsula by the
That was the
fires.
one I was talking about.
That's the one you were talking about, wasn't it? And we several times we had ash cascading down the hill we were on, so you couldn't see a foot in front of your face, and embers coming down, and we had to madly evacuate where we were and go round to the near the evacuation center. There were so many people there that you couldn't, we just parked on the side of the road and pitched a tent around from the area, because basically there was a fire cutting the peninsula off, so you couldn't get off the peninsula, and there was a fire on the peninsula on the other side of us at the end of the valley we're in, and we're there, and so still the sound of a helicopter actually makes all of us feel uneasy, because they had to use water bombing to stop the fire coming up that valley. If it had to come up that valley, it would have basically scorched, where everybody was hiding from the rest of the fire. And then in the middle of the night, it was basically about 12:30, we went on a midnight car ride of being evacuated out. And I drove my eldest daughter's car. And basically the rules were that once we started, you were not allowed to stop. If you stopped, you had to get out of the car and get into the car either in front or behind you and push the car off the road. So once they started...
Ladies and gentlemen, this was a tourist board promotion for Australia. Why not come on vacation here? It might kill you. Forget the spiders. We got other shit.
And that was a very scary drive, because we drove right through the fire in some places where they just bulldozed the stuff off the road, and it was still burning either side. And halfway there...
At least you live in a country that's proper, where you have an evacuation plan, which is if your car fails, get in the car in front of you or get in the car behind. In this country, it would be, if your car fails, form an orderly queue in front of the fire and wait to be incinerated.
As you do, because that's the way that life goes. Now, Tony, give us your YouTube channel. Tell us basically where we can find you.
Okay, so my YouTube channel is Electric Adventures, and the link is at Electric Adventures. It's managed to stay that. I noticed that other ones are. I also have a Facebook page, Electric Adventures. You have to search for it. The direct link of that is gone as well. And mainly on my Facebook page, I put stuff about my homebrew development rather than promote my YouTube videos. So I mainly stick that to YouTube. I'm also on Twitter as Electric Adventures, and also Twitch as Electric Adventures.
So there you go, guys. Make sure that we'll put all the links at the bottom of this video once it's basically been archived. Clickety-clack on that like button for us as well. Go over to his channel, subscribe, and also you can...
Check him out, people. Can I just add a personal note? Check him out, people. He's one of my longest running friends on here. Top bloke. Brilliant channel, brilliant content, and yeah, go and check him out. And do yourself a favour, because the guy survives spider bites every fucking day. He lives in fucking Australia. I mean, Christ alive. You live in fucking England. The only thing you have to worry about is standing on a nail upside down in the street. You got spiders, snakes, fucking everything. Go and subscribe. Yeah, bushfires, storms, 18-year-old kids. I mean, Christ alive. I'm quite impressed you're still alive, mate, to be honest.
So, Sean, where can we find you?
You can find me at youtube.com/users/Dietless79, DAIATLUS79. Same thing on Twitter and Instagram. I do have a like page, but I don't really check it out that often on Facebook, but both those accounts are Dietless79 as well. And you can find me on Instructables.com as Dietless79. I just checked my amount of views there the other day, and I got about 750,000 views now for my tutorials on there.
Nick?
I've actually been getting quite a few views on a lot of
Wow.
these.
Nick, where can we find you? Nick, we've lost Nick.
Not
Alright,
at
you
all.
can find me on the
There you go. Go on, Nick.
Alright, you can find me on YouTube at the Gaming Pegasus 187. I'm on Twitter at Gaming Pegasus 187. I'm on Instagram. I'm on the Xbox Live. I'm on the Wii U at Pegasus 187. I'm on WWE Supercard at Pegasus 187. In fact, I gotta check my King of the Ring. I'm in the finals right now. Hopefully, I won. I got 2 legendary
nice.
cards, but I got screwed. Yeah, I'm actually doing pretty good with that. I've won I won my last King of the Ring, and I pulled a legendary AJ Lee and a legendary Miz. I'm still waiting on that second legendary Natty, but I don't know what the hell's going to happen. I've got a Batista legendary product, and I've also got Triple H I'm working on, so I'm doing fairly good. So, but yeah, and you can also find me on Slamcast every Friday night, 8 p.m. Eastern. And we are actually getting ready for the NXT specials next Wednesday. Yes!
Yeah, we're also going to be talking a lot about the controversial week we've had in wrestling as well. From the Austin podcast to the Raw event that's happened, which supposedly shook up the WWE
And I
universe.
can watch now because the app's actually working.
And you can also find Mr. Dave Wade, Lawnboys Post 1975 on youtube.com/Lawnboys Post.
You can find me only if you believe in me, because if you don't believe in me, you won't see me.
Exactly.
I'm like the Emperor's New Clothes.
I want to put an extra special thank you to Novabug for joining us tonight, Patimus, also to everybody else, including A.O. Shea.
Yeah, massive thank you to you, Sean, you, Nick, and you, Tony. Brilliant.
Yes.
Thank you for all coming on board at this tiny little creaky show.
Also Sarah Mortimer as well.
You just said
Sarah.
eunuch.
And
Thanks for having me.
You, Nick.
Thank you
Oh,
for being
yeah,
on,
sorry.
Tony.
I just castrated you, Nick. I do apologise.
Also from Patimus, just one last
Fine.
thing she wants to say is actually spider fires or fires spiders around sounds like an awesome metal band. I agree. And in the words of Sean Michelin, of course, as well, if it's Valentine's Day for you out there, make sure you take your girl, hold her close, pick her up, and Batista bomb her. Because that's love. And for Dave Wade, of course, for Sean Michelin, for Nick Horchek, for Tony Cruz, for everybody out there, this is Michael Burhan saying this has been Burhan and the Boy, and we'll see you next week. Oh,
Cheers, bitches.
and that reminds me, see us next week here on Thursday instead of Wednesday, because Wednesday we have the return of the Untitled Movie Show with Miguel Leon. So we'll see you then.
Oh, that means I can come back. Yay.
It does. And not come black, come back, Dave. Oh,